top string, there's a G, move it down. Now we got a C chord. Don't you wish there were a faster way to learn guitar? Today I'm going to show you 5 two-finger chords that can really get you to playing songs quickly. First, you need to know a few things about the guitar. Your first string is the bottom string. It's actually the high E string. If you haven't tuned your guitar, you're going to need to tune all of them, but we count the strings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the bottom up. If you're going to tune your guitar, you can get a free tuner online on your app on your phone, and the way you tune the strings in standard tuning is E from the top down, E, A, D, G, B, E. Again, that's E, A, D, G, B, E. You want to make sure you're in tune or nothing's going to sound all that great. When we're talking about how to make chords, you need to know a few things about your hand. We number our fingers. So your index finger is number 1, your middle finger number 2, your ring finger number 3, your pinky number 4. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's how we count fingers. So if we're looking at the guitar, if you're looking at a chord diagram, it's kind of like you're looking at a guitar like this. So the top line on the chord diagram is going to be your nut, and then each of the other lines are going to be your frets, and it's going to have a dot where you'll place it between the frets. So you want to get toward the middle of the fret, kind of between the middle and toward the fret. You don't want to be right up on it. You don't want to be too far back. That's going to be hard to match. You want to be right in a good spot, right about there if you're going to play. This would be playing the first fret. Our first chord we're going to learn is a G. So you want to take your second finger, your middle finger, and place that on the 6th string, the top string, at the 3rd fret, just like this. And you want to kind of mute the one underneath. On the chord chart, that's shown with an X. That means this one doesn't really play. The top one will play, the 5th string doesn't really play. Now you want to take your ring finger, your 3rd finger, you want to place that on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and again you can kind of mute the one below it if you let your finger touch it. So really we're only playing 4 strings, but you get a nice full sound out of this. This is a G chord. Just 2 fingers, a nice full sound. So let your strumming hand go all the way through there. Don't hesitate, just go at it. It sounds really good. Now, if you want to strum a pattern, if a song is in a common time, you hit the top one and strum. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can get more complex with your rhythm. It's really important that you pick a song that you like, that you want to learn. If you have that goal in mind, then it's easier to find a rhythm that you want to play. But it's typical rhythm, just strum the top string and then strum down 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can get fancy with some rhythms, just play around with it. But there's your G chord. Now to make a C chord, just move that top finger down 1 string. So move your 2nd finger, your middle finger, to the 5th string now on the 3rd fret. Don't play the top string. Now we've got a C chord. So top string, there's a G, move it down. Now we've got a C chord. So that little rhythm there, I'm doing a down strum, a quick up, and then I change. So that's a fun sound. A lot of songs do things like that. Changing from G to C. You're only moving 1 finger. It sounds good. You want to get your fingers in a good position so that everything is sounding. There you go. You got G and C. Now, if you want to play a D, take that 2nd finger off. You want to put your 1st finger on the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. And for this one, you notice a chord diagram, there are 2 X's at the top on the top 2 strings. you don't play the top two strings on a D. And for this one, you can either mute that first string or you can let it ring and it still sounds good. These are abbreviated chords. They're not the full standard chords, but they still sound good and you're only using 2 fingers. There's your D. So if I start at the G, 2 fingers, move it down, there's a C, take it off, put your second finger down, there's a D. Ton of songs can be played using just those 3 chords, G, C, D. You want to get to where you can change quickly and then you can start playing rhythms. Look up a song and it doesn't show G as the first chord, like if you go to a lot of sites, it'll let you transpose. You can change the key of the song and you can make it to where that first chord is a G, and then you can play using these chords. So find the transpose button on whatever site you like, transpose it to where that first chord is a G, and then it should give you some chords that you know. There are tons of songs that you can play using just these 3 chords. Now, if you want to know a tiny bit of music theory, G, if a song is in G, that's your first chord. C is a 4 chord. D is a 5 chord. We can add the minor 6th. All this is a little bit of theory, but you add that minor chord, it gets kind of a sad sound. These are all major chords. G, C, D. It has kind of a happy sound. If we add an E minor, it's a little bit of a sad sound. The way you make an E minor, use your first finger on the 2nd fret on the 5th string, and you can let everything ring open with this. If you want to mute some things, you can, but really you can let it all ring. That's an E minor chord. With those 4 chords, that unlocks hundreds more songs that you can play. Now, some songs will have an F in it. F is really difficult when you're first learning guitar. If it's only in the song very quickly, here's a cheap version of F that you can do. Take your 2nd finger, put it on the 4th string on the 3rd fret, and just play strings 4, 3, and 2. Now, that's not a full F chord, but it will get the job done if your song calls for F. Because your real F chord looks like this, or you can even bar the whole thing. That's difficult to do when you're first learning. It's a lot easier to just go like this. So if you notice the pattern there, there's a G, just move it down. There's a C, move it down again. There's an F, move it back up, C, G. So I hope you're starting to notice a pattern now. Though with those 5 chords, you can play tons of songs. If you want to expand your knowledge here, then you can add to it. The easiest thing to do is to just add your pinky on that first string on the 3rd fret, and you can play all those same chords the way I just showed you, but it gives it a little brighter ring. You can play D, you can play E minor. Now we're using 3 fingers. So the same thing that worked with G, C, D, E minor, with 2 fingers, you just put that pinky down, G, C, D, E minor, and you get a little fuller sound, a little bit brighter. If you want to add in all 4 fingers, well, you just put your first finger on the 2nd fret on the 5th string, and now you've got a full chord using all 6 strings. It's a little bit harder to get all your fingers there, but that's a really full G, a really common one. You don't see that one on your standard chord charts a lot for some reason, but if you watch most guitar players, when they're playing G, this is the one they're playing. So again, you can kind of start from the bottom and stack. So put your pinky on the 1st string, 3rd fret, put your third finger, your ring finger, on the second string, third fret. Put your first finger on the fifth string on the second fret. Put your second finger, your middle finger, on the sixth string on the third fret. There's a full G, all 6 strings. Now, if you want to really add all the other chords, just move this down one. There's that C again. Same pattern. I hope you can see the pattern. Here's your G, move it down one, there's a C. You're not moving. If you learn the standard chords, you'll be doing something like this for G, and then you'll go here for C, and then here for D. That's a lot of movement. It's great to know those and to learn those, but when you're first starting out, it can be difficult. If you just leave these 2 at the bottom, then that'll accelerate your learning process there. So there's a G. You'll be able to change chords very quickly because you just go from G to C. That's a whole lot better than going from here to here when you're first starting out. That's a lot of movement to go from G to C. If you do this, that's a lot less, going from G to C. And then D, same thing, leave those bottom 2 there. For the E minor, you want to add in this second finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. There's a full E minor. This is the chords I use most often. It's the quickest way to get to playing a song. If you want to get a little more advanced, if you want to play chords that are in a different key, you want to look up how to do a capo. Like, let's say the song you want to learn is in B flat. Well, you can capo. It's this little clamp thing here. You can capo on the 3rd fret, play a G, and you'll be playing in B flat. So if you look up how to do that, you can still use G, C, D, E minor and play most songs that are out there. Now, if you really want to get advanced with your chords, you need to learn a bar chord. That's where you take your whole finger and place it across all 6 strings. And then you want to skip a fret. You want to put that 3rd finger on the 5th string on the 3rd fret. You want to put your pinky on your 4th finger on the 3rd fret on the 4th string. You want to put your middle finger on the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. This is a bar chord. I'm playing all 6 strings. This one's really hard, but if you can get there, you can move this anywhere. And you can play all major chords look like that. All major chords look like that. And this one's an F. If you take that finger off, there's an E, there's an F. Move it up, F sharp. Move it up again, G. You can go all the way up. Those are your major bar chords. You want to learn that. If you're playing electric guitar, you can do power chords, which you take off the bottom one, just play the top 3 strings. But that major bar chord there, if you want to make it minor, pick up these 3, move them down. Now we got a minor chord, and you can move that up and down everywhere. So if you learn those chord shapes, then you're well on your way to mastering thousands of songs. Keep playing.